You know, it's funny. Everybody wants a better sports environment. Everybody around the world loves their sports. And most countries have gone through a transition to get a better quality of sports, so they're more competitive. Better quality for the indigents, and better quality so they can start competing as a nation, regionally, globally, right up to the World Cups and the Commonwealth Games and the Olympic Games. But the fact of the matter is that not only do you need investment, which we all understand, but you also need a dynamic change in the internal structures. In some places, like in my own country, sports has almost been used as a place where people can go either to make money or if you have nothing to do. In Ghana, the National Sports Association is a defunct organization that is full of people who have nothing better to do, or invariably known very little about 21st century, 2019 sports development and what they got to do. They do not contribute money, they do not contribute infrastructure, they do not contribute skill set, and have no understanding of what is really required. What they ask for is, send me your accounts every year and we'll look at it, so that they can have a tick box to the ministry. Let us put one of our people on as your general secretary so we can be seen to be participating. You know, that kind of thing, which is really an impediment to where rugby or sports in general is meant to go. And they feel that they can't be sacked. They feel that they've got to be there forever, providing nothing, knowing nothing, and just being part of the deadwood. It's going to take a tough guy to get involved and clean them out, really to get a better synergy between sports organizations, the governing bodies of the sports, and understanding what real role do they have to play. Look, back in 1979 and that era, and 81, 82 going, where sports had been decimated on the first instance, then they made an attempt to rebuild it in their own sort of crude fashions. Various allies were put together, and the NSA therefore was put together as a governing body. I'm not saying it was set up just then, but I'm talking about the impact after the point where various sports seemed to be elitist and seemed to be irrelevant to a move, and Ghana came into a one-sport nation. So unlike all of our countries on the continent, let alone the world, the only thing that we did was play football. And since we can't win the World Cup, and those days where state-sponsored activity has now diminished, we become sort of irrelevant as a sporting nation, which is sad. The National Sports Association in its various forms, therefore, has collected people over the years. And what do? Little to nothing. They have some sort of standards or local standing, because most of those who maybe are in charge of minority and smaller sports, expecting some sort of investment from government, get zero investment. The only investment they get are a bunch of people who do nothing, are obstructive, and sit there delusionally believing that they have some role to play in the 21st century, which they don't. Now, within the context of the NSA, there may be one or two people who have some relevance. But beyond that, they have absolutely zero. Now, if the ministry or governments actually want to make a change, they need to restructure the whole of the NSA, clear out 90% of the deadwood, and see what supportive role they really have to play. Not friend to friend, not, oh, I'm rotten deadwood, let me leave them alone to be in that position. Come on, enough is enough. You know, well, otherwise, hey, we have another Olympics coming, we'll fail. Poor script, poor policy, total lack of investment, poor human resources in the wrong place, and hey, we'll go again. But the great thing is that global television allows us to watch other countries do well. If it's Paralympics or those who are disabled, we know the Nigerians are going to do very well. If it's handball and other sports, we know the Egyptians are going to do very well. If it's modern day athletics, it's not going to be Ghana anymore. We know South Africa is going to do very well. Beyond that, we're going to get great performances from all around the world, other countries giving their in, who have been developed over a 6-8 year period, coming right the way through. Infrastructure is good enough for them for children to learn and for schools to make it work, etc., and therefore get onto the high echelons. We here, we'll be still there talking about the days of Alice Anum and people who won sports at the Commonwealth Games in the 60s. Because after all, don't forget, expats here in Ghana often refer to Ghana as the largest country never to have won an Olympic gold medal. Wow. There's something seriously wrong out there, isn't there?